10 Scariest Movie Endings. For this list, we're looking at the most terror-inducing endings in cinema that we could find, with entries that vary in terms of method, but remain consistent in their impact.
God, she's a boy.
We are not excluding non-horror films, although horror films are naturally predisposed towards scary endings.
Come on! I hear him downstairs!
And, as this list is just one giant spoiler, a spoiler alert is definitely in order.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Number 10. You called Candyman.
Have you ever heard of Candyman?
Hooks and vengeful violence. Certainly an unsettling concept, and one that's not helped by this movie's bleak finale.
Jesus, it stinks.
At the end of Candyman, which by the way is based on a Clive Barker story, grad student Helen has sacrificed herself for the sake of a child, and has left her husband Trevor in the land of the living, where he's shacked up with one of his students, we might add. While at the home of his new lover, Trevor calls Helen's name out of sheer grief. And who should appear but the spirit of Helen herself, angry and ready to kill.
What's the matter, Trevor? Scared of something?
It's a brutal and unrelentingly violent way to end a film, but then this is a film about hook-wielding spirits. Number 9. That's a good boy. Psycho.
We have 12 vacancies. 12 cabins, 12 vacancies.
He wouldn't hurt a fly, would he? Or is it she?
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother.
Whatever the case, this simple but effective final scene from Alfred Hitchcock's 1960s psychological horror has a way of putting people on edge. In the film's final moments, some police officers go to check on their detainee, Norman Bates.
It's sad when a mother has to speak the words that condemn her own son, but I couldn't allow them to believe that I would commit murder.
The audience finally gets a look into Bates' mind. As we listen to his mother Norma discussing her innocence, the camera slowly zooming in on Norman's creepily satisfied face.
He was always bad, and in the end he intended to tell them I killed those girls and that man.
His psyche totally splintered, Norman Bates is somehow more terrifying all wrapped up in his own mind than when he was free to kill at will.
I hope they are watching. They'll see. They'll see and they'll know and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Number 8. Fiendish photo finish. Insidious.
To be honest, I've never seen anything like it.
A horror movie rule to remember. Demonic possession may not end just because you think it has. Insidious sets itself up for a triumphant ending, with the Lambert family seemingly free from the demon's haunting that has plagued them. However, paranormal investigator Elise becomes suspicious of Josh Lambert, and when she takes his photo, he flies into a violent rage.
Why did you do that?
The scene's tension builds as Josh's wife comes up to investigate, ending with a shocking reveal of the photo, and one final jump scare courtesy of Josh. That poor family. Number 7. Get the Raid, Enemy.
My name's not Anthony.
You're not Anthony?
No, I'm calling to speak to Daniel St. Clair, the actor.
All of the endings on our list are terrifying, but this one is also bizarre as hell.
What's happening?
Jake Gyllenhaal stars as two characters, history professor Adam Bell and stage actor Anthony Clare. As the film comes to a close, Bell is talking to his new lover Helen, only to come across a startling sight.
Helen?
Being face-to-face with an enormous tarantula is horrifying in itself. It's Bell's low-key reaction that's even more frightening. Rather than being openly scared, he instead appears resigned to the situation. To say it's all open to interpretation would be the understatement of the year.
In the room below.
Number 6. Button, who's got the drag me to hell?
Soon it will be you who comes begging to me.
Talk about a last-minute screw-up. In Drag Me to Hell, persevering bank loan officer Christine has seemingly freed herself of a curse that would condemn her to hell. Relieved, she can now prepare for a bright future. Just one tiny issue. Her boyfriend Clay shows up carrying a button, which Christine intended to use to break free of said curse.
I thought maybe you could, sew back on.
As the audience clues in to Christine's hopelessness, she ends up backing onto an open train track, where the film's title finally bears fruit. Number 5. The camera never lies. Wreck.
A ver, que nadie se mueva de aquí, ¿eh? ¿Vale? Bueno, y tú deja de grabar de una puta vez, joder.
Keep calm and don't get grabbed. A perfect example of that advice not being followed appears in Wreck, a Spanish horror film about a reporter's survival and investigation of a viral outbreak.
¡Una mierda! Acabo de masacrar en la cabeza a un policía que trataba de mordernos, joder!
Angela and cameraman Pablo eventually find themselves stuck in a penthouse with a demon-possessed girl, whom they try to evade, obviously.
¡No nos va a venir a buscar nadie!
Sí.
¡Abrid los ojos de una puta vez! ¡No les importamos ni una mierda!
Unfortunately, this plan quickly falls apart as the two are brutally attacked. The film ends with Angela's last glimmer of hope being stamped out, just as she's about to reach her camera. So close. Number 4. Stay out of the basement, The Blair Witch Project.
Have you ever heard of the Blair Witch?
Found footage movies just don't end well for people. Take The Blair Witch Project, for example. A fictional documentary about 3 student filmmakers who disappear while investigating the titular witch.
The woods around Halloween time is a creepy enough phenomenon. I don't want to go cheesy. I want to really avoid any cheese.
As the movie comes to its abrupt end, students Heather and Mike search for their friend in an abandoned house.
I hear you! Josh!
Little by little, there's a growing sense that the two are being watched. And then Heather finds Mike staring at a wall before she's attacked herself. The lack of context and surplus of ambiguity makes it all the more terror-inducing. Number 3. His Father's Eyes, Rosemary's Baby.
We have to make a baby.
Pray for Rosemary's Baby indeed. Towards the climax of this film by director Roman Polanski, the titular Rosemary grows suspicious of both her building's inhabitants and the disappearance of her newborn.
What have you done to it? What have you done to its eyes?
Upon investigating further, she finds her fellow tenants gathered around her child, and then it's revealed that her baby is the literal spawn of Satan.
What have you done to him, you maniac?
Satan is his father, not Guy.
If that reveal, plus Rosemary's horrified reaction to the child's appearance weren't enough, the film leaves off on a haunting note, complete with unsettling music. Find her friends alive and her. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.